the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a moment of silence, please? This is a regular meeting of the Glen Ridge Board of Education. Adequate notice of this meeting location and time has been provided in that this board notified the Glen Ridge paper and the Star Ledger on December 8th, 2023. Said notice was published in the Star Ledger on December 13th, 2023, and the Glen Ridge paper on December 21st, 2023. The date, time, and location of this meeting were also emailed to all recipients of the annual schedule of the board's meetings. The results of the annual school board election are as follows. Board member total votes for three-year terms. Darius Denad, 1,149 votes. Jocelyn Gottlieb, 1,210 votes. Duval Graham, 1,175 votes. Elected are Darius Denad, Jocelyn Gottlieb, and Duval Graham. At this time, I would like to swear in the elected board members. Mr. Denad, please raise your right hand. Actually, meet me in the middle. Please solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State
would have gotten that right sooner or later.
Congratulations and welcome to our new board members. I will now call the roll. Ms. Akinwande.
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet.
Present.
Mr. Campbell. Mr. Denod. Ms. Ginsburg. Ms. Gottlieb.
Here.
Ms. Graham.
Here.
Ms. O'Neill.
Here.
Dr. Yaris Ramos.
Here.
We have a quorum. We will now move on to nominations for president. May I have a nomination for board president?
I nominate Betsy Ginsburg as board president.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, may I have a show of hands for Ms. Betsy Ginsburg as board president? All in favor, thank you. None opposed? It's unanimous. Congratulations, Ms. Ginsburg. The meeting is yours.
Thank you. Thank you all. Now I will accept nominations for the office of first vice president. May I have nominations?
I nominate David Campbell for first vice president.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I second.
Second from, was it Kristen or Duval?
Tricia.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, Barbara, may I have a show of hands? All in favor of the nomination of David Campbell for first vice president, raise your hand. It's unanimous. Congratulations, David.
Thank you.
And now may I have a nomination for the office of second vice president?
I'd like
Oh, go ahead.
to nominate Jocelyn Gottlieb
Okay.
for second.
Nomination by Duval. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Kristen. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, all in favor of the nomination of Jocelyn as second vice president, all raise your hands. Unanimous. Congratulations, Jocelyn. And I think before we do anything else, I think we have a special performance.
We do. It's always a fun time of the year when we have this performance. This past fall, our marching band performed at multiple varsity football games, and despite the rainy Saturdays that happen month after month in the fall, they managed to squeeze in a competitive schedule that included 7 contests spread across New Jersey and New York. Their season culminated in state championships at South Brunswick High School and U.S. Band's national championships on the turf at MetLife Stadium. I'm happy to report, first of all, that on October 28th, our marching band won the New Jersey Group 1 state championship. With a top seeding score coming out of states, the Glen Ridge entered nationals as the favorite to medal. Our students did not disappoint, winning the Group 1 national bronze medal in MetLife Stadium and in the process earning the highest visual performance and visual effects scores in the nation. They have joined us this evening to share a portion of their 2023 fall production, Pet Sounds, the Beach Boys sonic masterpiece. The Glen Ridge High School Marching Band. Dr. Darren Gage taking the lead.
Can I say a few words? First, I wanted to, this is kind of a special meeting because it's the last time that we get to perform as a marching band for Superintendent Phillips. So I just wanted to tell a quick story if you'll humor me. So I've been the full-time band director for 9 years here at Glen Ridge, but I've taught the marching band for 33 years. And very close to the beginning of that time, nearly 30 years ago, I was chaperoning one of the school band trips, and an ambitious young classroom teacher came along as a chaperone. And little did we know how ambitious he was, because he would be climbing through the ranks until this very day. But that was Dirk Phillips, and he and I became friends on that first trip, which I think was to Colonial Williamsburg. And then I think and that was back when Stan Jackson was band director and I was the assistant band director. And I think he even went with us on the next trip, which might have been to Boston, and that might have been with Stan, or might have been when Kevin Lagos had already taken over the band directorship. But I wanted to mention, because it means a lot to me, that for all those years, Dirk has been not only a friend to me, but a friend to the band, and a friend to music in the district, and that's so vital. And seeing his leadership from a lot of perspectives, from, as you know, a lowly assistant band director, all the way up to being the full-time person here in the building. We couldn't have done so many of the things that we've done over the years without his leadership and his tutelage. And he was a friend to the band when he was a classroom teacher, when he was the principal at the high school, and when he's been superintendent. So I just wanted to, from my heart and from the band, just wanted to thank Superintendent Phillips for all that he's done for us, and tell him that he will be missed by myself and the music program, and we'd like to dedicate this performance to him.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't know how many board members get inducted to a marching band, so very unique experience. I'm very appreciative of the band, the hours that they spend in the summer and after school to master their craft and get the performance down. It's amazing to watch them, and I'm very fortunate to have that pleasure every year. And to Darren, thank you for the kind words. I do remember those field trips very well. Darren and another band director, our former head band director, Kevin Lagos, and I, we all had the same sense of humor, and I just remember walking through Williamsport, and we didn't say Williamsburg, the Busch Garden. We just look at each other and just started laughing. We didn't have to communicate at all, and it was a terrific experience. But to watch then the bands to perform at these venues too was amazing, and I'm glad that Glen Ridge has been able to maintain its history of excellence with the marching band, and they continue to amaze us each and every year. So congratulations again to the marching band.
I wish we had them for every meeting. Okay. We've had no written communication since our last meeting, which was early in December. This now seems like a long time ago. Every year the board is reborn, and this year is no different. As you see, we have a new arrangement as well. So Happy New Year to everybody, and welcome to Darius Denard, our newest member. We are so pleased to have you with us. Before we go on, I'd like to draw your attention to the recent passing of a Glen Ridge High School alumna, Sonia Kinkavala, class of 2016, who died in December. Please keep her and her family in your thoughts. And now, I'll give you an update on the superintendent search. Sad as it is, we'll be saying goodbye to Mr. Phillips in June, but we are proceeding with our search, and the results of the community survey have come back and been tabulated, and those results will be available on our website starting tomorrow. But I wanted to give you a quick overview of the qualities rated essential for the next superintendent. Many other qualities were rated in varying degrees of importance, but these were the most essential. The first was experience as a teacher. The second was skill in short and long-range planning. The third was skill in working effectively with an elected BOE, which makes us all feel good. The fourth was skill in budgeting and facility planning, skill in instructional leadership, curriculum development, skill in public speaking and written communications, experience as a school principal, skill in public relations, community outreach, and collaboration with stakeholder groups, and finally, skill in the area of personnel and human resources. So those are the qualities you considered essential for the next superintendent, and the board, each of us have made lists of our own essential qualities. We'll take those and these into account as we go forward into the next phase of the superintendent search process. And the deadline for applications has now closed. As of today, we've had a total of 31 resumes. This is a very good number, especially considering the scarcity of educators at all levels right now. And that number includes a significant number of individuals who may be invited for screening interviews. The Personnel Committee will meet shortly to discuss and set up those interviews for likely candidates. So the process is we are on schedule to finish the process. Also, the legislature is in its lame duck session, and for those who don't know what that means, it started November 27th, a couple of weeks after the general election, continues through January 8th. The new legislature will be sworn in January 9th. But it is a time when much legislation, literally hundreds and hundreds of bills, goes through the legislature. We have been looking at closely, education people have been looking closely at two bills, one of which would have greatly changed the schedule for evaluations of tenured teachers rated highly effective or abused, lengthening that schedule considerably. The second bill would greatly limit the ability of districts to hire online educators when they cannot find teachers. As you know, we have a critical shortage of teachers at just about every level in New Jersey. While steps are being taken to remedy that, it's a long-term problem. Didn't start yesterday. It's not going to be resolved for 5-10 years. So in the meantime, when districts cannot find certified teachers for in-person instruction, districts sometimes have to go to online instruction. This bill would greatly curtail the ability of administrators and boards of education to do that. And the eventual result of that could be that sections and classes could not be offered because of the unavailability of instructors of any kind. So we're hopeful. Usually the process with bills is if a bill is really seems like it could have serious repercussions, people in the education organizations rally to try to make those bills better. With the observation bill, instead of lengthening scheduled observations, the substitute bill will establish a task force to look at teacher evaluations and the Teach New Jersey Act, which was established 12 years ago, including teacher evaluations. So that is a good outcome for that bill. We're still working on the online education bill. Hopefully it will not be go all the way through the legislative process in the lame duck session, but the lame duck session is like a giant revolving wild card in the legislative arena. So we shall see. But those are the developments in Trenton. On the 9th, the new legislature will be sworn in. The governor will give his State of the State speech in Trenton. And the legislature will have its biannual rebirth, just as the board has had its annual rebirth. And that is the end of the president's report.
Thank you. I want to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year. I want to congratulate the newly elected and re-elected board members. And tonight we also have another special treat. Dr. Harris is here to give us an update on Central School. So I'm going to turn it over to her for now.
Good evening, and good evening to all of you. All right, I'm very delighted to share with you a little bit about Central School, where we've been. I think the last time we got together it was a year ago, and I told you about some great initiatives that we would be doing. Let's talk a little bit about them. Okay. All right. So, our emphasis has been on empathy, compassion, sharing. And as such, we did a food drive for Tony's Kitchen. And as you'll see reflected in both of these pictures, we really bring to home what we say in terms of considering one's neighbor. Every homeroom was given a list of food items to bring, and then we put them together into bags. And as you can see, we fed well over 100 families. Very proud of this initiative. I very much believe in children getting their hands, inside of the bags and understanding where the food is going and why it's important to be a contributor. Pardon me, Mr. Barney. It's okay. I spoke a little bit last year about calm classrooms and the need for students to be able to self-regulate. Having them calm down, having them come into the classroom setting, take deep breaths, count, whatever it is, to position themselves for the day. And it's not just something that our students do, but faculty as well, myself included. I'm in my office, deep breathing. Sometimes I have to hit the pause and redo it again because I find that it really does take the edge off the morning, but it also puts us in a positive frame of mind. And then in the middle of the day, we have a midday reset. This is a time of day where students come in, they're charged up from recess, who did what to whom, everyone has a story, and sometimes you just need to be quiet. Sometimes you just need a sleep story. I find that sometimes so do we. And I won't play, you're welcome, the entire meditation, but I want to give you a little bit of insight into what it is that you might expect in one of our classrooms.
Hi there, I'm Emiko. Today we're going to spend a few minutes together relaxing our bodies with a special belly breathing exercise. First, go ahead and find a cozy spot where you can sit or lay down, on your bed or on a couch, or you can even plop right down on the floor. That's what I like to do. Wiggle your body around a little to get settled into your spot. And once you feel nice and comfy, place your hand on your belly. You can put one hand on top of the other, or place them next to each other, whatever feels good for you. Now, close your eyes, or if you'd like, you can keep your eyes open a little and just let them rest. Next, take a big breath in through your nose, filling your belly up with air, and then a slow breath out with a nice big sigh. Let's try it again. Take a big breath in, feeling how your belly puffs out like a balloon, and then breathe out slowly.
I wonder how many of you actually did the exercise. I know. It's like our students. At first, everyone is self-conscious. They're looking at each other. Are you doing it? Are you? How about you? And then eventually, it becomes a culture. First year, took a little bit, right? Everyone was a little self-conscious. Everyone was a little awkward. We were all a little like, I don't know, is this going to work? Is this crazy? Is this newfangled? And now, it's an expectation, and it's becoming a part of school culture, which is what it is that we wanted. For it to become a part of your everyday, where you come in and you reset. It's good for students' mental health. It's good for our mental health as well. And I have found that behaviors have decreased. I have less students coming to my office because they simply take a moment to reflect and to regulate themselves. Did I go back one? Okay. All right, lights, camera, and the reason I have action is because that's the name of the dog. I know, right? It does make you, I know. So, from Creature Comfort, we have a therapy dog, a therapy pet, and the students read to the animal, they pet the animal. It's been wonderful. I think when the animal passes through the office, I, as well as Miss Wall, pet the dog probably more than any of our students. So, you know, this is actually, I have to be honest, something that I remember doing at Ridgewood Avenue School. And having this therapy animal carries over very well. And I believe all three primary schools at Dr. Caravella's and Mr. Murphy's school as well have a therapy dog. Level Up Village. We spoke a little bit about Level Up Village last time we were together, and I told you about a wonderful program that Ms. Jaros White had come to me with, and I said, okay, let's do it. And we did. And we're beginning to expand. Last year, we only did second grade. This year, we're doing every single grade, except pre-K. We're not there yet. However, our second graders have Mexico. And with Mexico, they've been building bridges. I want to show you a brief part of the clip. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but want to give you a little bit of an idea of what they're doing in their classrooms. So you'll notice that they're building bridges. In a moment, the sound will kick in as well. And they are tasked with building a bridge with materials that they find in the classroom and some that are suggested and provided. And then they record video of showing if they've been successful using various items like batteries and things like that to make their bridge stable. So in a moment, you're going to see some attempts to see if their bridge will stay put or if it's going to crumble. This is a good activity for students. It definitely represents STEAM, and here you go.
Wow, great bridge. Ooh, good. Ooh, go slow. Oh wait, that's it. You got the three. You got the three. The fourth was extra. Good job. Your bridge. One at a time. Good. Good. Success. Good job. Go ahead. Put it on. Try not to move it. Go ahead. Two. One more. Test it out. One, two, one more. Oh, all right. Do we want to try a fourth? You've already succeeded. Two more people have crossed the bridge, so let's see. Good.
So students are filmed putting their projects together, and then they share it with students in Mexico. So they also receive a video from the students in Mexico. Brief.
We like to use cardboard in the bridges. And we use paper and we use cardboard. Bridges looks very strong. We use batteries and coins for our bridge. We love when we use recycled materials. We made many different bridges. Most of our bridges succeeded. We use popsicle sticks and we use juice.
So as you can see, students engage back and forth with their, their cohort in Mexico. And they're enjoying it. We look forward to seeing what new countries that we're going to interact with for first grade as well as kindergarten. Let's keep this going. There we go. And then there are just a few photos of them while they're working in progress. It is a collaborative effort, which I love. And, along with working together, what I also like is that it doesn't always work out well the first time, or sometimes the second time. And that's helpful because it teaches them resilience. Everything doesn't go right all of the time. And what do we do to counteract that? And what do we do to then go back and correct it if we can? That is very important for students. It's important for us as well. And also I want to shout out Ms. Wujak, who also runs this program. Also, we have adopted what we call diversity pillars at Central School. Ms. Patterson and Stephanie Appleby and I sat together, and I want to give them a lot of credit. We looked at the months, and we started to assign various things: families, culture, abilities of all kinds, minds of all kinds, language, expression, all of those things that we wanted to focus upon and that we wanted to actually, explore a little bit more. So what we've done is we've gotten together, we've paired with our parents, we put out a sheet every month or two that has all of the resources that we're going to be using within the classroom so that they are able to look at these diversity pillars and they're able to break them up. They're able to have conversation about them. They're able to now explore diversity in new ways. Everything is not always color, right? But we have all types of things: food, dance, tradition, religion, language, expression, abilities. We're doing all of that at Central School. And then I spoke to you about the bookworm vending machine last year. Well, we had our soft opening, I'll call it. We had our soft opening. As you can see, the vending machine is now full of books. And we have our SEL stars, our social emotional learning stars. Those are our students. We looked at kindness as being what was most important. And when we found students in acts of kindness, they earned little tokens. They go inside of a little bucket, and their names get picked out monthly. And they get a coin to put into the vending machine. Then take their little picture. I'm still working on the Polaroid action there a little bit, but we're getting it together, and they go on the board. We don't throw away any students' names. So it's not a refresh every month, so we just keep on, pulling names. And last but not least, our home and school is the best. I always want to shout them out as well, because a lot of what we do is funded by parents in the community. A lot of the great activities that we have, funded by parents in the committee. And so even right down to those last drawings there, in the crest that you saw at the beginning slide, that came from a parent. So to Lindsay Brutowski, she created those, and I want to make sure that I honor her as well. That's a little bit about what's going on at Central School. I thank you for your time and for your attention.
On Monday, but keep an eye on it. I want to actually use this moment as a reminder to make sure your contact information is updated on our Skyward. If there is a change in the school schedule, we'll send out notice through email, phone calls, text messages, and we'll update our webpage on it. We do our best to keep the schools open if it's safe. So we'll be tracking the weather throughout, the evening into morning, and I try not to make a decision too late. I did get a late call when the morning we had all that rain, and a request from the police department to have it delayed, and that was usually later than I'd like. But when I hear from the police department, I weigh that very heavily, and we did have a delay that morning. So just please keep an eye out and make sure that information is right on Skyward. And the last thing I'm going to mention is we are starting to delve into the 24-25 school budget. The budget calendar is up on our webpage if you want to know more details about the process. But we're going to start breaking down the requests from the different school buildings and departments. We're going to be looking at our funding, and in the next couple months really try to get a budget that works for everyone as best as we can. We'll be meeting with the new finance committee and be presenting our initial budget the March Board of Ed meeting. Thank you.
Okay, normally this would be the time when we would have committee and liaison reports, but we are, as we do every year, in the process of reformulating our committees. But do any board members have any timely reports?
No.
Okay.
Just one quick,
yeah,
very
go ahead.
quickly. The Ridgewood Avenue Home and School Association is meeting for the first time this Friday morning at 8:45. So if anyone is interested, that is the time to be there.
Okay, thank you. And we should have committee and liaison assignments formulated by the end of the week so the committees can get going with their important work. So now it is time for the first public comment period. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot all about you, Dylan. I do apologize.
Don't worry about
When
it.
there's nothing on the paper, there's nothing in the brain. Please,
Don't worry
Dylan
about it.
O'Neill, please go ahead.
Yeah, there hasn't been much going on around the schools the past couple of weeks. We had a calm end of the year with a very fun Ridger Day where we celebrated all of our winter teams, and we had a lot of great competition between students and teachers alike, which was a lot of fun. And during break, both of our basketball teams were very successful in winning their respective holiday tournaments, which is really fun. And a lot of the school is excited to keep watching them and a bunch of our other winter sports teams throughout the rest of the season. And lastly, we had successful New Year class meetings today, and we will finish those throughout the rest of the week, led by Mr. Lawler and Mr. Phoenix, in which they kind of just keep up the expectations of what students need, what rules students need to be following, and how to finish strong with this year.
Okay, board members, any questions for Dylan? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now it is time for public comment. I don't see a lot of the public here, but just in case anyone wants to make a comment, please step up to the lectern, tell us your name. If you have any comment, let us know, and you have 2 minutes. Does anyone in our audience have any comments? Okay. We will continue with the meeting then. All right, we have a set of minutes in our packet from the Glen Ridge Board of Ed meeting of December 5th, both exec session and regular session. Does anyone have any changes to those minutes? No? Okay. David, would you move the minutes?
I move M1.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second from Anthony. Since we have no changes, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell? Mr. Denard?
Is it an
Ms.
abstention?
Gottlieb?
Yeah.
Ms. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill?
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, before we move the administrative items, I had volunteers for the positions of NJSBA delegate and alternate. Jocelyn and Duval, did you resolve who's going to be the delegate and who's going to be the alternate?
Yes, I'll be the delegate and
Okay.
Jocelyn will be the alternate.
So we will resolve that Duval Graham will be the delegate and Jocelyn Gottlieb will be the alternate. So that gives us a finished resolution A2. That being the case, Jocelyn, would you move the administrative items, please?
I move administrative items A1 through A11.
Okay, may I have a second? Second from David. Any questions or comments from board members on the administrative items? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell? Mr. Denard? Ms. Gottlieb?
Aye.
Ms. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill?
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, personnel. Anthony, would you move the personnel items?
Yes, I'll move items P1 through P8, including the items on the agenda.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Jocelyn. In keeping with our rules and the board members' code of ethics, personnel items are discussed in executive session. That being the case, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell? Mr. Denard? Ms. Gottlieb?
Aye.
Ms. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill?
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, Heather, would you move the curriculum items?
Sure. I move C1 and C2.
All right, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Anthony. Any questions or concerns about the curriculum items? All right, that being the case, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell? Mr. Denard? Ms. Gottlieb?
Aye.
Ms. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill?
Aye.
Dr. Yaros Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, before we do the business items, I want to call your attention to the donations listed under B3.
the Gavin Family Drum Set with cymbals for Ridgewood Avenue School Band and Music Program, a $770 value. Thank you to the Gavin family. And now, David, would you move the business items?
I move B1 through B6, including B2, 3, and 6 on the addendum.
Okay, and I should have mentioned that the addendum has a donation also, which I will read out now. We are accepting with thanks the donation from the Glen Ridge Education Foundation for tuition for 5 staff members to attend 4 semesters of Orton Gillingham certification through Fairleigh Dickinson University. Again, from the Glen Ridge Education Foundation, books for the spring 2024 semester for 7 Orton Gillingham Cohort 2 students, and also from the Glen Ridge Education Foundation, books for the spring 2024 semester for 5 Orton Gillingham Cohort 3 students. Altogether, that is a very, very, very large donation from the Glen Ridge Education Foundation. So thank you to Fran Wong and her colleagues on the foundation. And now, David, you moved the business items. Did I have a second?
Yes, I'll second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on those? Okay, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande,
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet,
Aye.
Mr. Campbell, Mr. Denard, Ms. Gottlieb,
Aye.
Ms. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. O'Neill, Dr. Yaros Ramos, Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, it's time for the second public comment. Our audience has been very attentive. Do any of you have a public comment? All right. Because we did not have an exec session prior to this meeting, we'll now adjourn to the exec session in one moment. So the public portion of the meeting is concluded, and thank you to all of you. Now, may I have a motion to go into exec session? Moved by David. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Kristen.